Human trafficking in the United States is a very large problem that often goes unrecognized and undiscussed, mainly because it's difficulty to talk about. But today, I'm going to do an educational presentation on why this information is so important to know and what we can do to help prevent human trafficking right in our own backyards. So to start out, we're going to talk about what human trafficking is. Human trafficking is forced labor or the selling/retailing of human body parts. So this can include anything from organ harvesting, child exploitation, forced prostitution, forced manual labor, or labor of any kind. We often think that human trafficking is often like slavery. While it is like slavery, it is not banned in many places and often goes unrecognized as well. It's hard to detect what is human trafficking versus what is voluntary prostitution, which makes it very hard for law enforcement to be able to step in and take the necessary means to prosecute those who are in offense. So who is being trafficked? Around 80% of those who are trafficked are female, and about half of those are children, which means that they are under the age of 18 years old. Here in the United States, the average age of a teen being trafficked is anywhere from 12 to 14. Can you imagine what you were doing from ages 12 to 14? I know for me, I was just getting started playing rec soccer, getting ready to enter high school. Nowhere in my mind was I thinking that I'd have to be wondering where my next meal was coming from, if I was going to get beaten or not, or what city I would move to next to ensure that my pimp wouldn't be getting in trouble. So why is this so important for us being where we are? As you look at this map, you can see these main red hotspots, which means those are locations where human trafficking is a very large issue. Many people think that the human trafficking is not an issue in the United States, that it's more of a Asian Pacific issue. But no, this issue is literally happening in our own backyards. As you can see, the I-85 and 95 corridor is a huge red hot zone for human trafficking, especially in between Atlanta, the DC area, and New York. We are right in the middle of that. So who knows how many vehicles that we see are actually those of pimps with people in the back being trafficked on a daily basis. In fact, there was just a very large bust for human trafficking in Greenville only a few short months ago. Who would think that is literally happening in our own backyard? So who is the victim? As you can see on this image, the victim isn't always who we expect. The victim is someone's daughter. The victim is someone's friend, someone's wife even. The victim can be anyone that you may know. So who are people who are more likely to be susceptible to human trafficking? Runaways, those who grew up in an abusive home, those who've experienced or witnessed drug abuse, girls or men who have low self-esteem, those who come from a single-parent home, or those who are in foster care. In fact, I know a story of a woman who was trafficked, who came from a very loving home, was in nursing school, and simply got caught up with the wrong crowd. You can never be too sure who it's going to be, so it's key to look to the deeper signs and look under the surface, because these signs aren't always the easiest to detect. So overall, human trafficking is the number 3 of all international crime industries, making over $32 billion annually. That's more than Google, Nike, and Facebook combined. That's a crazy amount of money, and we're not doing very much to stop it. So that's where it comes in as to where we can help and we can make this no longer an issue. Human trafficking has been in the headlines recently thanks to Ashton Kutcher, and even mentioned in Donald Trump's speech to the House and the Senate the other week, which is very good because this is something that needs a lot of recognition. So it's really important to know and have entered into your phone the National Human Trafficking Hotline. It's a 24-hour service that you can call at any time, even if you're unsure if the situation is trafficking or not. Better safe than sorry. So be sure to take a minute and copy down this number that you see on the screen. As well as you see a logo for a program named Samaritan Women. In the United States, there's about 7 homes that run actively to help as recovery programs for victims of human trafficking. We need more homes like this, especially in our area. South Carolina does not have a place for these women to go, so they're often carted off to different places, far away from family, far away from anything that they know. The Samaritan Women is actually in my hometown of Baltimore, Maryland. There are currently 15 women living in this house. What they do there is they do job training. Oftentimes they'll take classes to earn their GED or some other professional level 2-year program, so that way when it's time they can get ready to enter the workforce. So take a minute and look up things and ways that we can help right here in South Carolina. These women and men need our help. It's happening right in our backyard, and we can do something to stop it.